What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Orlando Magic. And if you have tuned into any of my videos like this, of course, you know this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls lately have been not playing the best version of basketball. To say the least, it's been rocky. It's been a rocky start to the year, whether it's, Levine not playing, whether it's, of course, Lonzo being out, injuries to guys like Drummond, guys like Kobe White, and things of that nature, questions about Billy Donovan's coaching, and a plethora of other things, front office moves. So in tonight's game, of course, versus a team like the Orlando Magic, who have young talent at almost every position, whether it's Mo Bamba, whether it's Bobo, whether it's Franz Wagner, whether it's Jalen Suggs, whether it's RJ. They have young talent at almost every position, and the Bulls got a first-hand glance of that in this game. Honestly, I didn't really feel like the Bulls didn't come out with enough energy or anything like that. In this game, I feel like, okay, Orlando is a team that you have to match what they do. I feel like their coach is ramping them up for playing together as the game builds on. And they didn't even have a full roster tonight. They didn't have Cole Anthony. They didn't have Markelle Fultz. They didn't have a lot of pieces that go to what they want to do collectively moving forward. And I believe, when the Bulls stepped on the floor, I felt like they matched up well. DeRozan, Zach was out there, Io, Kobe played tonight. You had Andre Drummond. You had the pieces to ultimately get you a win tonight. Vucevic, Green, and things like that. But I feel like ultimately the Bulls allowed, guys like Wendell Carter to get off. They allowed guys. It's nothing you can really do with a guy like Bobo. Like, just honestly, like, if you think about matchups, how the game is played, you really can't do nothing with a guy of his caliber. He's, number one, his size. Two, he can really shoot. He can go off the dribble. And he can get to the rim. So there's nothing you can really do with a guy like that. And then I looked at the matchup with Bobo, who was going inside, outside, hitting threes tonight. Then I looked at Wendell Carter Jr., who absolutely torches the Bulls every time he goes up against them. Of course, it's a vendetta there because he was drafted by Chicago, and Chicago basically gave up on him to get Vucevic, which in turn, as a Bulls fan, I love to see Vucevic, and Wendell Carter just wasn't growing at the pace that the front office expected him to when he first was drafted. And that happens to a lot of young players. But in the case of Wendell Carter Jr., anytime he has a matchup against Chicago, he abuses the matchup. And that was seen this evening. Also, Zach LaVine did not have one of his best shooting performances in a while that I've ever seen him shoot the ball. He just was not in the flow of the game. But one guy that was obviously DeMar DeRozan. He ended up scoring a season high. And when you look at DeRozan's, you look at DeRozan's game and you look at how he performed, and of course the ball was in his hands a majority of the time on offense. So when I looked at how he played, he played 44 minutes. The only Bull that was close to him in scoring was Vucevic, and he had 14 points. So in turn, I feel like the Bulls should have been passing the ball around. And one of the analysts said something that stuck out to me at the beginning of the game, and that was Stacey King. He said something like the Bulls need to have around 25 assists in this game. And I feel like when you say a number like that, that means guys are moving. The ball isn't sticking. That means you have, a lot of man movement, ball movement. And when a guy like DeRozan goes for 40, that's kind of limited. I will say this. Javonte Green definitely came in and gave the Bulls that spark, that boost. I love the second unit. Of course, Green hasn't played a lot lately. I don't know what the cause and effect of that is, but I feel like he should be more in the rotation and less out of it, basically. The Bulls as a whole, and going into tonight's game, when you look at you look at the Orlando Magic and guys like Mo Bamba, who had 13, guys like Wagner, who had 20, Jalen Suggs had 20, Wendell Carter Jr. had 21 and 8. You look at guys like Bobo, who had 15 and 10. And also, when you look at how many threes they made 12 of 28 threes. The Bulls only shot 5 of 21. And you could say, is three-point shooting going to hurt the Bulls? It has been. We don't have a lot of three-point shooters. If Zach can shoot threes and make threes, then that gives us a better chance. But Kobe, he didn't perform. He didn't perform to, a rousing ovation. He only had 4 minutes, no points, 2 assists and 1 rebound. So, tonight just showed that the Bulls have a long way to go, especially playing teams like Orlando. Like I said, it was at a point where the Bulls were down double digits and they climbed all the way back to get the lead. And getting the lead in the fourth quarter, ultimately missing free throws and giving Orlando a chance to win the game. And the play where Jalen Suggs was coming down the court, Ayo was defending him. And Ayo D'd him up. But Jalen Suggs hit him with the step back, hit the 3 in his face. And I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset that Jalen Suggs made the shot. He's an NBA professional. He's supposed to do that, right? I was more upset at the fact that the Bulls were in the lead with less than a minute to go, and they allowed themselves to lose that game after crawling all the way back. The Bulls are not having the best past 10 games. I can honestly say that. Giving up 37 points in a quarter, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you, especially when you got to play teams in your same conference. The Milwaukees, it's the Pacers. It's like certain teams, Cleveland. It's like certain teams you're going to have to face. And the Bulls over their last 10 is 3-7, 12th in the East. They're behind the Heat, the Knicks, the Nets, the Sixers. So, is it cause for concern right now? I think so. Would I press the panic button? Not yet, but I feel like the Bulls need to figure it out on the floor wise. Guys like Zach LaVine, he has to figure it out. Whether he's playing in multiple games back-to-back or not. In the next game, the Chicago Bulls, they play the Boston Celtics. And ultimately, I don't know if I said this, but the Bulls did lose this game. And the final score of tonight's matchup was a rousing 108-107. And the Bulls face the Boston Celtics in their next matchup. Like I said, they're a few games under 500. The Boston Celtics is not a pushover team. We know what they're capable of. They have one of the better records in the Eastern Conference and in the league. They are very scary when it comes to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what happens Monday night. I'm going to tune in, of course. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below of tonight's game between the Orlando Magic and Chicago Bulls. Did you guys enjoy the game? What do you guys want to see the Bulls do better going forward? Do you guys think a trade should happen sooner or later, or should we just wait at least 25 games into the season to see what they do going forward? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It's always great to hear from you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.